Good morning. It is that time to get our activities started. Welcome. My name's Alyssa Horseman. I'm the principal here at Etna. Very excited to be here for a second time in a row for such a wonderful event for our whole district. If you want to wave behind you, we are on webcam. It is being shown all over. There are people logging in right now getting ready to watch us live. So let's just get started. Cub Scouts, can you please present the colors?
Color Guard, Pack 141, attention. Guest, please rise. Color Guard, advanced. Color Guard, halt. Color Guard, present the colors. Scout, salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Color Guard, post the flag of the United States of America. Color Guard, post the state flag. Color Guard, honor your colors. 2. Color Guard, return to ranks. Color Guard dismissed. The audience may please be seated. Pack 141 at ease.
Thank you very much, Color Guard. And now I need to just hand the mic over to our MC of this morning, Mr. Dan Davis.
Good morning. My name is Dan Davis. I've been able to be a part of this program for many years now and honored to be here with you this morning. Thank you all for joining us today. The students of Etna have been working hard to show their love and appreciation for all you've done to serve our country. They have been writing original poems, letters, and essays. They've been collecting money and items to donate. And they've been making letters and cards to send those currently serving overseas. 4th grade classes have been practicing songs to perform today, and other students have been working on readings for this event. We are excited and honored to have you join us for this program. First up today, we have Elena Campbell and Ethan Adams reading What is a Veterans Day, followed by William Matthews reading his original writing titled Soldier, and then Leo Eikens and Santiago Brasino reading their original essays, How I Would Serve.
What is Veterans Day? Veterans Day is an official U.S. holiday which honors people who have served in our armed forces. These men and women are known as veterans. It is a federal holiday that is observed on November 11th. Veterans Day is a day set aside that helps us remember the anniversary of the end of the World War I. World War I battles were formally ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day in the 11th month in 1918.
We celebrate Veterans Day each year as a time to be dedicated to the cause of world peace. We thank our veterans for serving to make our country free, peaceful, and strong. We also thank you all for joining today to honor those who served our country.
Soldier, brave, loving, caring, trustworthy, who feels love, who needs care, who fears losing our freedom, who loves our people, who thinks of our people, who believes in our country. Fighter, soldiers are heroes.
If I had to pick among serving in the military, I would pick the Navy because there are lots of things to do while you are serving our country. One reason why I would pick the Navy is because you can meet new people. Even though you have to start all over, you can have friends from all over the world. And sometimes they can become more than friends. They can become family. My third and final reason why I would pick the Navy is because you can be promoted. Being promoted is like reaching the next level to a video game, except there are only 9 levels. There's an E1, E2, E3, and so on. My dad just became an E8 when we moved here. He is in charge of 600 people. That is a lot of people to be responsible for. In conclusion, I would choose to join the Navy because you can see the world, meet new people, and be promoted to take on more responsibilities. And to all those who serve, thank you.
How I would serve. If I had to pick among serving in the Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, or Air Force, I would pick the Army because I want to fight for America and America's freedom. I want to fight for our liberty and justice as a country. I want the men and women who died for America to be honored and respected. I also want to be in the Army because my 2 grandfathers served. They have wonderful stories of the Army, and most of them can make you laugh. But some of them can make you sad because they have lost some of the people that they have become brothers with. I also want to travel to other countries and meet the people of the culture. I want to go to different countries because I get to learn different languages and help the countries that are unstable. I want to help with food, clean water, and shelter. In conclusion, I want to be in the Army because I want to be the hands and feet of our country, helping other countries. Also, I want to because it gives me an opportunity to teach myself what my limits are and then push my limits a bit further.
Let's give all of our readers one more round of applause. That was a great job, guys. Also wanted to note, several years when I've been in this position, we've had the Boy Scouts come and present the colors, posting of the colors and Pledge of Allegiance, and I thought they did an amazing job this year. It's very well done. So congratulations to those guys as well. All right, next up we have for you our first song of the day called Have You Ever Seen a Yankee Doodle Dandy? This song is arranged by Tom Anderson, and it's going to be sung by the homeroom teachers, classes of Mr. Wolf, Mr. Spencer, and Miss Connor. So relax and enjoy the music. Thank you, students. Next up, we have a few more original readings. The first is called Soldiers Are Heroes, written and read by Taylor Hamper. This will be followed by Veterans Day, read by Ryder Tidswell and Mila Cruz. So if Taylor could come on up.
Soldiers are heroes. Soldiers are expected to fight, work together, maintain loyalty, and selflessly serve our country. Soldiers should be appreciated. Soldiers fear losing, need courage, Soldiers fear losing the ones they love. Soldiers love their country. Soldiers think positive. Soldiers believe in fighting for what is right. Soldiers are heroes. Hardworking, efficient, resilient, obedient, eager, and strong. Heroes.
Veterans Day. On Veterans Day, we honor all who answered to a service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old, fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride.
We are proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights, and they fought through many days and nights. Though we may not know each name, but we thank all veterans just the same.
Thank you, guys. That was wonderful. Okay, next up, I'd like to invite Deanne Williams up to the stage. Each year, our Etna students spend 10 days bringing in donations to send to troops serving overseas. So as you walked in this morning, you may have noticed several boxes in our library. Those are those care packages that they've spent these 10 days gathering. This year, we are pleased to have a representative joining us from Buckeye Military Moms to accept the donation, Deanne. I'm going to have Megan Keating now come up, and she's going to introduce the project a little bit more in detail.
One of the ways the students at Etna Elementary choose to show their thanks to all veterans is by donating items to the Buckeye Military Moms. This organization sends care boxes to those currently serving in other countries. We are proud to help Buckeye Military Moms show the troops how thankful we are for their service. The students at Etna have collected over 4,000 items such as batteries, food, games, books, and much more to send to those currently serving overseas. Students have also written over 600 thank you letters and cards to be sent in the packages. Please accept our donations as a sign of our thanks and appreciation.
So I want to thank you, and I especially want to thank all the soldiers, sailors, any military service that's here represented today. But I also want to thank the families, because what many people don't realize is the families serve too. I'm a military daughter, a military granddaughter-in-law, a military mother, and a military wife. And so I know families serve. And so keep that in mind as you give your thank yous today. But thank you so much, because what you kids may not realize is all of these people who served because they believe your freedom and your freedom of choice in all that you do is more important than their life.
Thanks, Deanne. We appreciate all your organization does through Buckeye Military with Moms as well. Next up, we have our second song of the day, The Cassidys Go Rolling Along. This song is sung by the homeroom teachers of Pitsker, Henry, and George. So enjoy. Thank you, boys and girls. That was great. Next up, I'd like to introduce Maggie Wharton and Olivia Gardner. They're going to read To You on Veterans Day, followed by Serving Our Country, written in
Today we cheer at the parade. We remember you offered your life to our land.
Today we consider, tomorrow will come, but we understand you gave me more than one day of the year. For this Veterans Day celebration, I wrote about someone important to me, my dad. Trevor Stevenson is a loving, caring, and brave person. He served our country for 5 years. He joined the Army because of what happened on 9/11. He was 19 years old. Trevor served in Iraq for 2 tours, and in his second tour he fought in Afghanistan. He was awarded the Bronze Star that he received for saving a village. My dad is my hero. I am proud of the sacrifice he made for our country. Thank you for all you have done for our country and all you do for our family.
Thank you, Marley. Next, we have another song for you. This one is titled There Are Many Flags, arranged by Rachel Jordan and sung by students in the homerooms of Excellent job, students. Okay. This one is called Thank You Veterans, read by Carter McConey and Kaylin Ferguson, followed by Thank You for Your Sacrifice, read by Layla Angelo and Alina von Brinkenheim.
Thank you, veterans. Our thank May you be kept safe in all that you do and bring you back home to those who love you. Our thanks to you for all that you do defending our flag, the red, white, and blue.
Thank you for your sacrifice. You gave your strength, your youth, your time. You did a job not many will, and for many you sacrificed still.
We love that you are here with us and honor who you are. A grateful nation appreciates every single scar that wrote upon the slate of you as you were very brave.
You came back to us a hero.
You bear the weight of freedom's call.
You are with us now, and that is what we give thanks for most of all.
America the brave and home of the free. That wouldn't be if veterans hadn't fought for America. The people who lost love, limbs, and lives sacrificed so much. That is one reason why in the Columbus airport you can see hundreds of veterans walk to their families with the sounds of trumpets and drums welcoming them back home. One time I saw this happen and it was loud, in a good way though. This is the celebration I think every veteran should get. This celebration takes place when veterans return from honor flight. This year, students and staff at Etna have raised over $1,000. With Pataskala and Kirkersville donations, we have enough to send 5 veterans on the honor flight. We are proud to help those who have served.
Thank you, Cadence, for reviewing our honor flight program, which Etna has supported the last several years. I know my grandpa attended one of the flights last year, and it was an amazing experience for him, something he'll never forget. So thank you again, Etna Elementary, for your support of the honor flight. Next up, I'd like to call Mr. Ray Starcher. Mr. Starcher and his wife, Brenda, have been an integral part of the Veterans Day ceremony here at Etna Elementary for many, many years. If you've attended in the past, you've been lucky enough to listen to one of his poems, original poems. And so I'm going to go ahead and invite Mr. Starcher up to the stage here.
Good morning. I've entitled the poem this morning, A Long, Proud History. We're here today to thank you, collectively and individually, for all you have done or are currently doing to ensure our country's security. Your important role began back over 2 centuries ago, when our colonies were uniting against a common foe. Back in 1779, which was exactly 240 years ago, events on the East Coast were not going very well. They were going terribly. George Washington and his soldiers tried as hard as they could, but only the enemy soldiers were having any luck that was good. Many of those veterans had suffered through 2 years of war, and still ahead of them, more hardships were in store. Harsh weather conditions, shortages of ordnance, and their clothing in shreds, low rations, long forced marches, and never sleeping in beds. Only George Rogers Clark in the West and John Paul Jones on the sea were having any success against our formidable enemy. Our war for independence went on for many months more, till our soldiers finally drove the enemy from our shore. Dedicated veterans down through all the years of our past, and you veterans here today have made sure that our freedom would last. You showed your love for our country and the lives we all live when you joined up to serve, and an oath of allegiance you did give. Like veterans before you, there was a chance that some conflict might end your life, but yet you were willing to serve and did train and prepare for any upcoming strife. Some of you were assigned to serve stateside. For that role you did fill, making sure everything here remained peaceful and still. Others of you were assigned to serve overseas, far, far away, making sure any danger did not come our way. Some of you served above us in the bright blue sky, flying in aircraft, some of which could go really high. Others of you served aboard vessels on places that we at home never knew, sailing on top of or under the surface of waters so deep and so blue. Still others of you served on the ground in many distant lands, living in places hot, cold, tropical. Live our lives and I am grateful to each of them for their willingness to serve and protect from our foes. For our beloved red, white, and blue. Thank you.
Salute. Should stand when your name is called. Please hold the applause until the end of roll call. We are blessed to have so many veterans here today. I don't want to keep you here tonight as well. So again, please hold the applause till the end. Our roll call will be read by Jana Antolini and Deanne Kokenauer.
We are going to be starting with the Air Force. Botts, Steve Butcher, Nancy Butcher, Brian Ferguson, Dale Fry, James George, Zach Gard, Matt Hamper, Jason Hogue, Tom Hughes, Gerald Johnson, Karen Kinlan, Fred Lambert, Douglas McClintock, Matthew Neighbors, Megan Sass, Lauren Smith, George Zabel, Mike Book, Dustin Epperson, Roger Waddell, John Walkawoik, probably butchered that, Larry Harlan, David Newman, Doug Lambert, Larry Matthews, Ronald Wheeler, Trivia Wheeler, Rita Batts, Bob Griffin.
Next we have the Army. William Richards, David Withers, John Angelo, Joseph Barmis, Nicholas Brown, Bob Chavanock, Thomas Desario, Jeremy Donnell, Joseph Douglas, Henry Guzman, Dan Hare, Edward Hanlon, Rick Herbst, Jacqueline Jones, Love Jones, Dakota Justice, Zach Justice, Trevor Kaiser, Penny Killia, Jennifer Kimitta, Robert Kryl, Paul Kuntz, Matthew Mankins, Stan Maybrook, Dennis Mitchell, Steve Nash, Robert Knoll, Raul Ortiz, Michael Perry, James Platt, Shannon Saffel, Larry Sabotka, Trevor Stevenson, Jeremy Vanskoy, Rick Humphreys, Alec Ulrich, John Williams, Jim Franklin, John Wachowicz, Jason Cahill, Robert McConey, Brenda McConey, Mike McNearney, Troy Comita, Jeremy Donnell, Lauren Bear, John Gathers, Jerry Wilkes, Ezekiel Sims, and Tania Sims.
The next branch is the Marines. I knew that was going to happen.
Yep.
Mark Bishop, Charles Grant Cahill, Charles Caldwell, Frank Campbell, Jeff Sizik, Paul Dennis, Jacob Dacus, Richard Grimm, Cassidy Gutierrez, Joe Gutierrez, Ron Jordan, Michael Kalele, Scott McClellan, Vince Odie, James Pigler, Nicholas Weigel, and Shane Howard.
Next we have the Navy. Caroline Allen, Dan Batts, Timothy Beach, Jonathan Biles, Christy Borch, Richard Hamilton, Douglas Keady, Harvey Little, Glenn Miller, Marvin Miller, Bill Rose, Mac Stump, David Turner, Maurice Weaver, Matthew Young, Dan Bush, and Santiago Brasinio.
We tried to include everyone. Hopefully we didn't miss anyone. If we did miss anyone, if you would please stand at this time and state your name and branch of service. We also have a very special guest today. We have one World War II veteran attending. We would like to recognize him. His name is Stan Maybrook. Stan, if you could come forward so that we could give you a round of applause.
a round of applause to each and every one of you. Thank you for your service.
Next, we have another song. This one is sung by the homeroom classes of Miss Seelig, Miss Hazel, and Miss Poe. It is titled America of Thee I Sing. Thank you, students. Next up, we have a special guest, a veteran here with us today named Jason Cahill. Jason is a representative from Honor Flight, and he's going to come up and speak a little bit more about that. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you all for having us. I am a volunteer with Honor Flight. I imagine we may even have some veterans here that have flown with us. If you have, can you raise your hand? Oh, wow. Well, I am a volunteer, and I help organize a program where that's called Sponsor Our Veteran. We have many schools that ask what can they do to help with Honor Flight. And Etna has done a great job. You guys have raised over $1,000, and that $1,000 has gone to support 2 veterans that have flown to DC. The mission of Honor Flight is to honor, share, and celebrate our veterans. So we take veterans, we've taken almost 900 veterans this year to DC free of charge to the veterans themselves. With me, I have Larry that flew in September, was sponsored by Etna with that donation. Each flight costs approximately $65,000 to take 90 veterans plus 40 guardians. Guardians such as myself, we pay our way, but everything for the veterans is free of charge, and it's a really great day. We usually end up having about 1,000 people at the airport to help honor and celebrate their return. Larry got to fly in September, and he can maybe say a few words about what his flight meant to us. So really would like to thank Etna for all your donations, all your support. Today is wonderful. And for those veterans that have not gone, the senior veterans,
Morning. Honor Flight is a great experience for those who have not experienced it. It is a long day, but well worthwhile. The camaraderie you develop on those airplane rides, bus rides, is very thrilling to me and exciting and very memorable. I am a Vietnam veteran. I served 16 months with a 162nd Assault Helicopter Company supporting 1st Infantry and 101st Airborne troops into the field. A lot of my experience in the military was, like many others, you lost a lot of friends. So it was a great trip. Again, thank you for your sponsor. One of the highlights was our mail call. We have a envelope that with family and friends, but I got a second envelope with all you kids' letters to me, and it took me weeks, and I'm still reading them. So thank you so much for that and for having me here today. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Next, we're going to have the playing of the taps, followed by the retiring of colors. Please stand for the retiring of colors and then be seated for the bagpiper. But first, I'd like to introduce Nick Montel and Kara Smith for the playing of the taps. Please stand for the retiring of colors.
Color Guard, Pack 141, attention. Guest, please rise. Color Guard, advanced. Color Guard, post the state flag. Color Guard, honor your colors. Two. Color Guard, return to ranks. Retire colors. Color Guard dismissed. The audience may please be seated. Pack 141 at ease.
Our bagpipes today were played by Mick Trainer, so we appreciate Mick coming back again this year. Thank you, Boy Scouts. This concludes our Veterans Day program. We are so pleased you were able to join us today. We ask that at the conclusion of the ceremony here that you and your family take the Walk of Honor. So students are waiting in the hallway to show their appreciation for you. Please follow the students as they lead you and your family through the halls. Make sure you take all of your belongings and you will exit through the hallway for the Walk of Honor on the left. Students sitting with veterans, you are to remain in the gymnasium. Thank you.